In today's series, we're going to show you some performance of a Sierra 1500 Elevation in titanium rush metallic over jet black. Then we're going to take you through a tour of the interior to show you the new dash layout with some comparison to similar trucks in its price category, finally getting the refresh without having a carryover trim. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm going to go over all the specs and details starting now. The GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation gets a front fascia lift. With a tweaked grille, the Elevation gets a unique front bumper fascia and grille design, monochromatic exterior with gloss black mesh inserts with the grille, vertical recovery hooks that integrates into your C-structure LED headlamps and daytime runnings. No more D-structure for your fog lamp assembly here. You're going to get a little rectangle, but you still get the D-structure vent. Clearance nearly 11 inches, which is better than the Toyota Tundra unless you get the TRD version. It's going to be better than the Ram 1500 and the Ford F-150. The GMC hood will project a little bit less in length, so I think it's going to look a little bit more athletic when we get into the interior, especially for the drive, because with the Ford F-150, it's a little bit longer, it's a little bit more box structured, whereas this has some round elements to offset it with a length nearly 232 inches, a wheelbase 147.4 inches, 20-inch gloss black 6 double spoke alloy wheels behind it at 13.5-inch disc reading. The rear is at 14.1 inch. It's ventilated, fully box frame, 3.42 rear axle ratio, available 3.23 rear axle ratio. The Denali and AT4 has a independent front suspension, solid rear axle. The AT4 adds a 2-inch factory lift, the same as the Elevation, and the X31 off-road package adds the off-road suspension, hill descent control, skid plates, heavy-duty air filter, X31 hard badge, LED tail lamps, and you get your steps on the bumpers. Chrome exhaust outlet tips. Trailer package includes your 7-pin and 4-pin connector for your hitch guide, locking differential, 2-speed auto track transfer case, towing up to 13,000 pounds with a spare tire tucked underneath, soft open for your tailgate with a length that's 75.4 inches, a height of 22.4 inches between the wheel well housing at 50.6 inches, giving us a total of 62.9 cubic feet. You have your power charger in the back with your LED lights. Let's go inside and start up this turbo diesel so you can hear that exhaust note. 3.0 liter Duramax Turbo Diesel. i6 LZO replaces the LM2 Duramax Diesel from 2022. This is going to be rated at 305 horsepower and 495 pound-feet of torque, which is a 10% increase in power and around 7.6% increase in torque. That's paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, what do these numbers entail? Well, the engine features upgraded steel pistons and a revised combustion bowl, as well as a retuned turbocharged compressor, new fuel injectors, and improved temperature control. Let me know in the comments what you think about the 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation as we go inside, go over the tech, and take this for our drive. Entering inside the GMC Sierra 1500 without running boards is not something I would recommend because it is higher up. Elevation, you get it. Headroom at 43 inches, legroom at 44.5 inches. Rework dash was back in 2022, so they just carry it over. But in 2022, they didn't really offer a lot of these models this way, so this is still a new setup. Cloth bucket front seats, 10-way power seat adjustment for the driver, 4-way manual adjustment for the passenger. They're heated and ventilated. The dash, you have more storage on the passenger side now with the 2 glove boxes. You also have storage between both sides here in the center, a large storage pocket, but the more important thing is the touch sensitive buttons for your heated and ventilated switches and your dual climate control settings in the front with a USB A and C port going up with the gloss black panel that goes into the driver's side, and it has a C structure that's going to wrap around both of the air vents. 13.4 color screen. It's touch with navigation with the pinch and the swipe click, the home button, so you can see all the apps we have. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, Amazon Alexa, Wi-Fi hotspot. You have your dual climate control settings here also with My GMC. Click onto your cameras. It's only a reverse camera with your trailer lineup, or you could have the full trajectory. You can option it where you have two screens here on the side, or you could just make it longer. You get the wood inlays underneath with the silver, working underneath with a large storage pocket, cup holders, I would say a 32 ounce without any issues at all. More storage capacity here with the new gear lever, your wireless charging pad that just slides in, nice and long. No storage anymore here, more soft, open up inside. You get the storage tray, you can pick that up. It's deep, a USB-A, USB-C, and a home plug. The gauge cluster, digital reader, 12.3, fully reconfigurable, and it's pretty simple. You just click on which side you want, and you can just change or toggle through anything that you like on each side of the cluster. We do not have the heads-up display. It's a leather-wrapped steering wheel, multi-function with the paddle shifters. The door panel more or less integrates into the dash. You get the wood chrome underneath it, one touch up and down just for the driver. More sport drive for your elbows, and a long storage pocket. For the back seats, I'm at 40.1 inches of headroom, 43.4 inches of legroom. This is an SUV in a truck, and you have plenty of room for anyone my dimensions. You also have storage behind both of the side seats. Two USB ports, your air vents, cup holders, and storage behind both of the front seats. Your grab handle and the door panel gets your everyday materials on the top with the wood inlays, and you get the satin aluminum that's going to pretty much wrap around the whole area. It's going to be a little bit more sport derived for your elbows. A long storage pocket, a little narrow, but you get the D-Structure sound system that comes into the back. Sitting into the center, headroom is no issue, nor is legroom, feet, butt, or shoulder space, because it is so wide in the interior, and I even have my own cup holders right in front of me. 305 horsepower, 495 pound-feet of torque. That's a lot of truck underneath this bad boy, and whenever you're looking to get something that has ground clearance that has increased, because we have the Elevation package in which it gives you that 2 inches extra with the Rancho shocks. Is it going to be a smooth ride? It's not too bad, but this is your performance. It's not going to be as quiet as a 2500 HD. I will say this one's going to be a little bit more noisy, and two of them are box oriented, and I know this is not comparing against that, just telling you for the interior sound deadening. The ride though is ever smooth, just kind of glides. Definitely an everyday use vehicle. The steering wheel is not very heavy at all, and there's not a lot of play in it either. Braking, the brakes grab pretty good. Now there is some pros and cons, and that's what we're going to go over. 3 things that I like about it: the exterior styling, what they did reworking the front fascia, excellent job. Didn't throw D's everywhere like the prior, and it's just more seamless, and it looks a little bit more athletic. Coming into the interior, refreshing it, giving us this updated screen, and it's not like the Ford where it's so big it takes up the whole dash, and it goes into the gauge cluster. The second thing that I like about it is this Duramax diesel. They have tested it literally over 5 times of the earth to show how this engine can conquer that much road. We're going to try to get it as straight as possible and give her a little go. And you can see moving in and out of lanes for maneuverability purposes, you can do it. It is still long and it is still wide, but it's not over the top, something that you can drive every day. The last thing that I like about it is in the back seats. They give you extra storage capacity behind the seats, in which every vehicle should do that. We have a little trap door open. 3 things that I dislike starts off with the interior having harder materials. The Ram will be the softest. The second thing that I dislike is this is over $63,000, and we only have power up and down windows for the driver side. Turn radius at more or less a stop point, going to receive about 3 lanes. Let's rock and roll. The last thing that I dislike is in the interior. You can hear the turbo diesel breathing in the passenger side every time you push it hard. Obviously, this is something that could be cool, but it also is something that could be where you don't have to hear it in the interior of the cabin. Going back to the comparison, the Ford F-150 is a great vehicle. They did a good job with some of the refresh. The screen is just a little bit too big for the interior. And that dash is also in the Expedition. Whereas when you get into the Sierra 1500, this is not going to be the same dash that's in the Yukon. So I like that this is unique to this vehicle. Obviously on the exterior you're going to have a lot of similarities, but that's going to happen in all the trims. The Ram 1500 is going to have the most luxurious interior of all of them. It is one of the hardest ones, and yes, it has a long and wide screen, but the way it's configured, it doesn't look like it's taking up the whole interior. As for the Nissan Titan, it's getting a little bit dated in the interior. This one has more capabilities for towing, off-road capabilities, and payload, so it does tick the box in that. Since they've put the new dash and the reconfiguration of the fascia, it's really changed this vehicle dramatically. The feel to it, the overall presence, increase in power, it's just going towards the right direction. I like to thank Coast GMC in Port Richey for giving us this 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click the next video and the subscribe button. Check out the merchandise, Instagram, and website, and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.